Sister wives. Kody can't support Robyn's children and asks her to leave the house. Hello friends. Welcome to the Daily Gossip News Update. I'm Olivia, and I hope you're well by God's grace. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. When Sister Wives first premiered back in 2010, fans were introduced to a sprawling, complicated family built on the principle of plural marriage. Kody Brown, the patriarch, was proud to showcase what he once described as a celestial calling, a lifestyle where multiple wives and their children could come together as one united family under God. For years, viewers tuned in to watch the drama unfold between Meri, Janelle, Christine, and eventually Robyn, the youngest wife and often the most polarizing figure in the Brown household. But now, over a decade later, the once lofty dream of harmony has crumbled into bitter rivalries, broken marriages, and financial chaos. And at the center of the storm lies Kody's relationship with Robyn, his so-called favorite wife, the last partner still standing by his side. Yet, even that bond seems to be unraveling in season 19. In a stunning twist that has left fans shocked and divided, rumors have swirled that Kody can no longer support Robyn's 5 children, Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella, and has allegedly asked her to leave the family home. For viewers who have followed the Browns for years, this revelation feels almost unthinkable. Robyn was supposed to be the legal wife, the one who had Kody's full devotion when his spiritual marriages to Meri, Janelle, and Christine collapsed. She was the one he defended fiercely in countless arguments, often alienating his other wives and children in the process. And yet now, the woman he once prioritized above all others has reportedly become a financial burden he can no longer bear. The idea of Kody asking Robyn to leave their Flagstaff mansion strikes at the heart of what Sister Wives has become, a cautionary tale about power, favoritism, and the dangers of ignoring balance in plural marriage. Fans have long accused Kody of funneling disproportionate amounts of money, energy, and attention into Robyn's household. Now, with his finances stretched thin and his relationship with his older children in tatters, it appears that the house of cards is finally collapsing. Robyn's children, most of whom are either teenagers or young adults, have grown up on camera, often shielded by their mother's protective nature. But as Kody faces mounting pressure from legal expenses, property taxes on Coyote Pass, and the loss of TLC's once lucrative paycheck, sources suggest he simply cannot maintain the lavish lifestyle Robyn had grown accustomed to. For Robyn, this alleged betrayal cuts deep. Not only has she been labeled the homewrecker by fans who blame her for the downfall of Kody's other marriages, but now she faces the possibility of losing the stability she thought she had secured. The end of Kody and Robyn versus the world. Since Christine left Kody in 2021, much of the narrative has centered around the collapse of the Brown family unit. Janelle eventually separated, Meri stepped away after years of neglect, and Kody doubled down on his partnership with Robyn. Together, the pair became an island unto themselves, often portraying a united front against both fan backlash and familial criticism. But if the rumors are true, that Kody has asked Robyn to pack up and leave their shared home because he cannot afford to raise her children, then even that final fortress is crumbling. Viewers who once saw Robyn as the victor in the Battle of the Wives now see a woman facing the same rejection and instability her sister wives endured. Only this time, the situation carries even more weight. Children who have no other father figure besides Kody are now potentially facing abandonment. Fans react to the rumor. As soon as whispers of Kody's alleged ultimatum surfaced in online fan communities, Sister Wives forums lit up with debates, speculation, and disbelief. Many fans expressed a sense of poetic justice. After years of watching Kody elevate Robyn above the others, it appeared that the same favoritism was backfiring. One fan wrote on Reddit, "Kody spent all his time, money, and energy on Robyn. Now he's broke, and the irony is he can't even afford the kids he fought so hard to prioritize. Karma." Another added, "If this is true, then Robyn finally knows how Meri, Janelle, and Christine felt all those years. Disposable when it no longer serves Kody's needs." Still, some viewers sympathized with Robyn, pointing out that regardless of fan frustrations, children are caught in the crossfire. The kids didn't ask for this. They've been dragged through the cameras, the drama, the tears. And now they might be abandoned? That's heartbreaking. The conversation reflects just how deeply invested audiences have become in this family saga. For many, Sister Wives is no longer just reality TV, it's a long-running social experiment in love, faith, and dysfunction. Kody asking Robyn to leave is more than just a headline, it symbolizes the collapse of the last pillar holding the Brown family narrative together. For years, TLC has marketed the show as a journey of resilience, even as marriages fell apart. Robyn, whether fans liked her or not, was always portrayed as the steady anchor for Kody. But with this supposed split, the illusion is shattered. The man who once claimed he wanted to guide 18 children under one roof now struggles to care for even the handful that remain in his household. The patriarch who bragged about plural marriage being a source of strength is left fractured, broke, and desperate. And for Robyn, who sacrificed her reputation and relationships with the other wives in order to secure her place as Kody's legal partner, the betrayal feels especially cruel. If even she can be cast aside when times get tough, what does that say about Kody's loyalty? A turning point for the show. As Sister Wives gears up for its 19th season, this storyline could become the defining arc of the entire series. Viewers are not just watching a family fall apart, they're witnessing the unraveling of a dream that Kody insisted would work against all odds. Will Robyn leave quietly, or will she fight back? Will the children speak out publicly, adding their voices to the chorus of estranged Brown kids who have already criticized Kody? And will the ex-wives take this opportunity to gloat, or will they rally around Robyn for the sake of the kids? No matter the outcome, the drama ensures that the Brown family saga is far from over. For years, Kody Brown projected the image of a confident, in-control patriarch who had the ability to manage not only a sprawling family but also the enormous financial demands that came with it. He once bragged about being a provider, a man who could juggle mortgages, car payments, food bills for nearly 24 children, and the dream of building a legacy on Kody Pass. But in reality, cracks in the financial foundation of the Brown Empire had been showing for years. Now, with the latest revelation that Kody cannot support Robyn's children and has allegedly asked her to leave their home, it's clear that the financial house of cards has finally collapsed. To understand how Kody ended up here, one must first look at the staggering expenses associated with his plural marriage. Supporting 4 wives and 18 children would be daunting for even the wealthiest of men. Yet, for much of the show's run, Kody leaned heavily on 2 things: TLC's reality TV paycheck and the combined incomes of his wives. At first, the Browns appeared to make it work. They pooled resources, lived under one roof in Utah, and presented a united front. But as the family expanded and relocated to Las Vegas, purchasing 4 separate homes in a cul-de-sac, the financial burden became immense. Mortgage payments piled up, utilities quadrupled, and everyday expenses multiplied. Even with TLC covering a portion of their lives, the Browns were not rolling in cash. And as the years went by, the cracks widened. The Flagstaff move, a financial disaster. When Kody insisted on moving the family to Flagstaff, Arizona, in 2018, he claimed it was for a fresh start. In reality, the move only accelerated the family's financial decline. Instead of 4 homes in Las Vegas, the Browns found themselves renting and purchasing expensive properties in a college town with higher living costs. Kody also purchased Kody Pass, a massive piece of land he envisioned as the Brown family's future compound. But dreams of building 4 or 5 custom homes never materialized. Instead, the property sat empty, a constant reminder of debts and taxes owed. While the ex-wives eventually distanced themselves from the project, Robyn and Kody remained saddled with the responsibility of keeping the dream alive. But dreams don't pay the bills, and Kody Pass turned into a financial sinkhole. Robyn's household has long been a sore point for viewers and other family members alike. From her large Flagstaff mansion to constant references to debt, Robyn was often accused of living above the family's means. Even Christine once hinted on the show that all the money goes to Robyn. The optics certainly didn't help. While Mary lived in a modest rental, and Janelle focused on building her own independence, Robyn remained in the largest, most expensive home. Fans frequently criticized Kody for prioritizing her needs over everyone else's. And now, as his financial struggles hit a breaking point, those criticisms appear justified. If Kody truly can't afford to raise Robyn's children anymore, then the lifestyle that was once protected at all costs has finally caught up to them. The COVID-19 pandemic added another layer of financial stress. With production slowed and Kody's strict rules driving wedges between him and his older children, the family dynamics deteriorated. But behind the scenes, money was drying up too. Kody admitted during season 17 that the family's finances were tight. He blamed property taxes, multiple mortgages, and legal fees for draining their resources. Meanwhile, viewers speculated that TLC had slashed their per-episode pay compared to earlier seasons, leaving Kody scrambling to make ends meet. By season 18, the Browns looked less like a thriving plural family and more like a fractured group of individuals fighting for survival. When Christine left Kody, she not only walked away emotionally but also financially. She sold her share of Coyote Pass back to Kody and Robyn for just $10, a symbolic gesture that freed her from the property drama but left Kody with even more responsibility. Janelle, who once acted as the family's financial planner, also distanced herself from joint accounts. And Mary, long marginalized, eventually cut financial ties as well. That left Kody and Robyn standing alone, burdened with debts they could no longer spread across multiple households. For the first time in decades, Kody had no financial cushion from his other wives. For a man like Kody, whose identity has long been tied to his role as a provider, the inability to support Robyn's children is nothing short of humiliating. On camera, he has often lashed out at his older kids for being disrespectful or ungrateful. Yet, many fans argue that his anger masks insecurity over his crumbling authority. Now, by allegedly asking Robyn to leave their home, Kody risks destroying the last shred of his reputation as a husband and father. If he can't support the very children he once defended so fiercely, then what remains of his legacy? While this chapter focuses primarily on finances, it's impossible to ignore the emotional weight of Kody's actions. For years, Robyn was assured that she was safe, that she was the chosen one. But money has a way of exposing cracks in even the strongest-seeming relationships. Robyn has always been fiercely protective of her children, especially since Kody legally adopted her 3 older kids from her first marriage. To hear that he can no longer afford to raise them, and worse, that he allegedly asked her to leave, would cut to the core of her identity as a mother and a wife. Fans have debated for years whether Robyn would ever turn against Kody. Many believed she would stick with him no matter what, since her legal marriage and position as the favorite seemed unshakable. But if money is truly the driving factor behind this rift, then even Robyn may be forced to reconsider her loyalty. After all, love may be blind, but unpaid bills are unavoidable. One fan put it bluntly on Twitter, "When the money runs out, so does the love." Robyn might finally see the real Kody. Kody's downfall isn't just about dollars and cents, it's symbolic of the failure of the entire plural marriage experiment. For years, he sold the idea that plural families could thrive if built on faith and love. But behind the scenes, the constant financial strain eroded trust, created resentment, and ultimately broke the family apart. Now, even the last marriage standing, the one fans thought would survive, appears to be crumbling under the weight of debt. For Robyn Brown, life has always been a delicate balancing act. As Kody's youngest and legal wife, she has been both adored and vilified by fans, scrutinized by her co-wives, and constantly weighed down by the responsibility of managing her children while maintaining her place in the family hierarchy. But no challenge has been as personal or as emotionally devastating as the news, or rumored ultimatum, that Kody can no longer support her children and has asked her to leave the home. While Kody's financial collapse represents one crisis, for Robyn, the emotional fallout is far more complicated. It's a perfect storm of fear, betrayal, and uncertainty that strikes at the heart of her identity as both a wife and a mother. When Robyn first heard the news, whether through a private conversation with Kody, a leaked insider, or the subtle signs of dwindling finances, her initial reaction was likely shock. For years, she had been assured of her safety in the family structure, the chosen wife who had priority over the others. Denial, a common first stage of emotional processing, would have been almost inevitable. Could Kody really be serious? Could the man who once defended her and her children from criticism, legal disputes, and even public ridicule truly abandon them now? For fans, this stage is particularly painful to witness. Robyn has long been portrayed as confident and self-assured, but even the strongest personalities crumble under the weight of potential rejection, especially when it involves children. Once the initial shock subsides, anger often takes its place. Robyn has been forced to watch as her children's future, and by extension, her own stability, becomes threatened. Her frustration likely extends beyond Kody, too. For years, she sacrificed her personal relationships, social reputation, and even friendships with the other wives in order to maintain her position. She adhered to Kody's strict rules and public image requirements. And yet, despite all her loyalty, the man she trusted most appears to be turning away. This anger, combined with worry for her children, likely fuels a sense of betrayal that could be explosive if expressed publicly. Robyn's children are at the center of this turmoil. 3 of them were Kody's legal wards, and all have grown up largely under Robyn's care. For a mother, any hint that their home might be taken away is terrifying. This is not simply about a house. It's about stability, security, and identity. Moving out could disrupt schooling, friendships, and the fragile emotional balance she has worked so hard to maintain. Each child, from the youngest Ariella to the oldest Dayton, relies heavily on their mother for support. The thought of displacement, forced by financial inability, is a nightmare scenario. Robyn's emotional struggle is compounded by the scrutiny of the sister wives' fan base. For years, she has been cast alternately as the villain or the savior in the Brown family saga. Now, as she faces the possibility of leaving, fans have erupted online with opinions, advice, and judgments. Some fans blame her, suggesting that her lavish lifestyle is what tipped Kody into financial ruin. Others sympathize, arguing that she is the innocent victim of circumstances beyond her control. Regardless, public opinion is inescapable. Social media has become a second family in a sense, one that watches, critiques, and even vilifies her choices. The emotional burden of knowing that millions of viewers are watching her struggle cannot be underestimated. Robyn's relationship with the other wives has always been complicated. While Christine, Janelle, and Mary have occasionally shown moments of solidarity, the reality is that she has been largely isolated. For years, she has functioned as Kody's partner and shield against the criticisms and failures of the other marriages. Now, as the financial and emotional cracks widen, that isolation is magnified. There may be no one to turn to, no internal ally within the family, and no guarantee that Kody's support, emotional or financial, will return. This kind of loneliness can intensify stress, depression, and anxiety, making the situation feel insurmountable even for someone as resilient as Robyn. Robyn is likely to explore multiple ways of coping with this situation. Family support, leaning on older children or extended family for advice and comfort. Professional guidance, seeking legal or financial advice about housing, custody, and property rights. Emotional expression, utilizing therapy, journals, or private conversations to process feelings. Public narrative, carefully managing what she shares with fans and media, maintaining control over her story. The balance between protecting her children and asserting herself as an adult partner in the family is a delicate one. Any misstep could inflame public criticism or further destabilize her home. Robyn is also likely grappling with guilt. Did she inadvertently contribute to Kody's financial downfall? Could she have managed expenses differently? Did her insistence on maintaining a certain lifestyle put additional pressure on Kody? This self-reflection is normal and human, but in Robyn's case, it is compounded by the relentless scrutiny of reality TV cameras. Every emotional response is recorded, analyzed, and debated, leaving little room for private contemplation or quiet healing. As the rumor of eviction circulates, Robyn is likely weighing her options carefully. Moving out could offer freedom and independence, but it would also represent the collapse of the life she thought was secure. Staying could mean continued financial strain, tension, and possibly conflict with Kody that affects the children. The emotional stakes are higher than ever. Fans and insiders alike are watching to see how she navigates the tightrope between loyalty, self-preservation, and motherhood. Robyn's reaction, a mix of shock, anger, fear, and determination, will shape the next chapter of the Brown family saga. And with cameras rolling, every decision will be public, analyzed, and dissected, leaving no room for privacy or mistakes. The alleged ultimatum from Kody is more than a financial issue. It is a profound emotional challenge, a test of resilience, and a turning point for Robyn Brown. How she reacts could redefine her role within the Brown family and alter the narrative of sister wives entirely. For fans, this is the human side of reality TV drama, the heartbreak, the uncertainty, and the very real consequences of family dynamics gone awry. Robyn's struggle is emblematic of a larger truth. In the Brown family, even the favored wife is not immune to hardship. When the news broke that Kody can no longer support Robyn's children and has allegedly asked her to leave the home, it wasn't just Robyn's world that was shaken, it was theirs too. For Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella, this announcement represents a seismic shift in stability, identity, and emotional security. Children, even those accustomed to the unique structure of the Brown family, are deeply affected by parental conflict and financial insecurity. Children thrive on stability. Even in non-traditional families like the Browns, routines, security, and predictability provide the foundation for healthy development. For Robyn's children, this stability has always been intertwined with their mother and Kody's household. Suddenly, with the looming possibility of relocation or loss of financial support, the children are confronted with uncertainty. Fear of the unknown, anxiety about housing, and concern for their mother's well-being all converge. Psychologists note that such situations can lead to increased anxiety and stress, sleep disturbances, difficulty concentrating at school, social withdrawal, or heightened irritability. For a household already accustomed to public scrutiny, these stressors are magnified. Being filmed while emotionally distressed adds another layer of pressure, as children may feel compelled to mask or perform their reactions for the cameras. Routine is critical for children, and Kody's alleged financial strain threatens that structure. Simple aspects of daily life, school schedules, extracurricular activities, after-school programs, and social interactions could all be disrupted if the children are forced to move. Moving homes or altering daily schedules can be destabilizing. Teens like Dayton and Aurora may face academic challenges or strained friendships if they must relocate. Younger children, such as Ariella, could struggle to adapt to new caregivers or unfamiliar environments. The long-term impact on confidence, self-esteem, and resilience could be significant. Robyn's children have a complex relationship with Kody. 3 of them were legally adopted by him, while 2 are her biological children with Kody. Regardless of legalities, Kody has served as a father figure, guiding, disciplining, and supporting them throughout their lives. The news of financial strain and eviction could fracture that bond. Children may feel abandoned or betrayed, questioning Kody's love and commitment. Such emotional strain can linger long after the immediate crisis is resolved, potentially influencing their future relationships and trust in parental figures. Growing up on a reality TV show exposes children to public scrutiny from a young age. Sister Wives fans are notoriously vocal online, and children are not immune to gossip, memes, and criticism directed at their family. The prospect of losing their home or seeing their mother under stress could intensify social pressure. They may fear being ridiculed at school or online. Teenagers, in particular, are highly sensitive to peer perception, and this added stress could exacerbate feelings of isolation and insecurity. Robyn's children rely on one another for emotional support. The family bond is their anchor, especially when facing external chaos. However, financial and housing stress can strain sibling relationships as well. Older children may feel pressure to assume responsibility, acting as protectors for younger siblings. Meanwhile, younger children may experience resentment or fear as they sense the tension between their parents. Managing these dynamics requires careful parenting, but with Kody allegedly unable to provide the necessary support, the burden falls squarely on Robyn. In the face of family upheaval, children often develop coping mechanisms to navigate emotional stress. For Robyn's kids, these might include seeking support from peers or extended family, relying on cousins, friends, or mentors for guidance, internalizing emotions, attempting to appear strong even while feeling uncertain or afraid, creative outlets, using art, writing, or music to process feelings, questioning loyalty, assessing who in the family they can truly trust. Reality TV complicates these coping strategies, as personal moments are filmed and broadcast, leaving little room for private processing. The long-term impact on Robyn's children could be significant. Children exposed to parental financial instability and marital conflict often carry emotional scars into adulthood. They may struggle with trust issues in personal relationships, anxiety around financial security, difficulty forming stable attachments, emotional sensitivity to conflict. Given that these children are already growing up in the public eye, the combination of family instability and social scrutiny could amplify these effects. Online discussions reveal that fans are especially concerned about the children. Many express sympathy, noting that the kids did not choose their family structure and now face adult problems at an early age. A Reddit commenter wrote, "The children are the innocent victims here. Robyn might be the target of fan criticism, but these kids will feel the fallout the most." Others have raised questions about whether TLC or Kody himself is prioritizing the children's emotional well-being over financial and legal considerations. The consensus is clear: whatever happens, the children's stability should be the primary concern. Amid this turmoil, Robyn's role as protector and advocate becomes even more critical. She must balance the emotional needs of her children with the practical realities of limited financial support. This dual responsibility is exhausting, both mentally and physically. Robyn's strategy will likely involve shielding the children from unnecessary stress, negotiating with Kody on housing and financial arrangements, preparing backup plans in case of eviction or relocation, maintaining routines and stability as much as possible. Her ability to protect the children will determine how they weather this storm, both emotionally and socially. Ultimately, the fallout from Kody's alleged ultimatum hits hardest where it matters most: the children. For Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella, the stability they once took for granted is suddenly at risk. Their emotional and psychological well-being hangs in the balance, and how Robyn responds could define not only their present circumstances but also the trajectory of their future. In a family already fractured by plural marriage, financial strain, and public scrutiny, the children's experiences are a stark reminder that reality TV drama is not without real-world consequences. Their resilience, guided by Robyn's advocacy, will be tested like never before. When news of Kody's alleged financial inability to support Robyn's children and his rumored ultimatum surfaced, one voice among the ex-wives immediately gained attention: Kody Brown. Known for her candor, directness, and occasionally sharp wit, Kody has never shied away from expressing her opinions about Kody's decisions, particularly when it comes to the family dynamics that have played out over more than a decade on Sister Wives. Kody left Kody in 2021 after years of feeling undervalued and sidelined in a marriage that had gradually deteriorated. Her decision was both emotional and practical. She prioritized her well-being and her children's stability over remaining in a marriage where she felt her voice was unheard. For many fans, Kody's departure marked the beginning of Kody's unraveling. Without her financial contributions, household input, or active involvement in decision-making, Kody's responsibilities increasingly fell to Robyn. Now, as the alleged eviction scenario emerges, Kody's perspective is especially relevant. She has a unique combination of insider knowledge and emotional distance. On social media, Kody has not explicitly confirmed the rumors, but fans interpret her posts and subtle comments as a mixture of vindication and warning. One post read ambiguously, "Sometimes, the choices we make for love aren't the ones we can sustain forever." Fans quickly interpreted this as a pointed commentary on Kody's treatment of Robyn. Many believe Christine is saying, in essence, "I told you so." She had repeatedly cautioned that Kody's favoritism toward Robyn could lead to disaster, emotionally, financially, and relationally. It's important to recognize that Christine's reaction is likely not one-dimensional. On the one hand, she may feel a sense of vindication. After leaving a financially and emotionally unstable situation, she sees Robyn facing similar challenges. On the other hand, Christine is still a mother and part of this extended family. She may genuinely worry about the impact on the children and the emotional toll on Robyn, despite past conflicts. Her emotions are likely a complex mix of relief, she is no longer directly responsible for the chaos. Vindication, her warnings about Kody's management of the family appear validated. Empathy, she recognizes the human cost of the situation. Caution, she may be considering how her words could affect public perception and family relationships. Christine has long criticized Kody for being overly idealistic about plural marriage, prioritizing appearances and personal agendas over practicality. She often argued that he placed Robyn's needs above those of others, creating imbalance and resentment. Now, with Kody allegedly asking Robyn to leave due to financial strain, Christine's criticisms seem prophetic. The very behavior she opposed, favoritism, financial mismanagement, and a lack of sustainable planning, is at the heart of this crisis. In interviews and social media commentary, Christine has subtly highlighted, "Sometimes loving someone isn't enough if the structure around you isn't strong." This statement resonates with many fans who have watched the Browns struggle for years. It emphasizes that emotional commitment alone cannot sustain a family without practical stability. Many viewers speculate that Christine may feel a degree of satisfaction watching the fallout. After years of being criticized or blamed for family tensions, seeing Robyn face similar challenges might feel like poetic justice. Fan reactions capture this sentiment. Christine always knew this would happen. Kody can't keep all the plates spinning forever. She left before the collapse, and now she's watching it all unfold from a safe distance. However, it's essential to note that Christine has generally refrained from outright gloating. Her tone often blends insight with diplomacy, avoiding direct attacks while allowing her perspective to speak for itself. While Christine may feel vindicated, she could also serve as a subtle mediator. As an ex-wife with no financial stake in Robyn's household, she is positioned uniquely to offer advice, guidance, or emotional support if needed. Christine could provide insight into managing Kody's unpredictable decisions, offer practical advice on financial management and budgeting, share lessons learned from her own experience leaving the marriage. Her involvement, if any, could influence Robyn's next steps and help mitigate some of the fallout for the children. Christine's public reaction also highlights the broader concern about the Brown family's reputation. With the Sister Wives brand built on drama, emotional loyalty, and family values, any conflict is magnified. Christine's careful navigation, balancing honesty, empathy, and subtle warning, reflects her awareness of how the story will be perceived by fans and media. By highlighting Kody's financial failings indirectly, Christine maintains her credibility while reminding viewers that she had foresight and wisdom that Kody overlooked. Kody Brown's reaction to the rumored eviction is layered. It is a blend of validation, concern, and cautious observation. She represents a voice of reason that the Brown family has often ignored, and her subtle commentary underscores the risks of favoritism, financial mismanagement, and lack of planning within plural marriage. As the drama unfolds, Christine's perspective may prove crucial, not only for Robyn's children and household decisions but also for the broader narrative of Sister Wives. Her combination of insight, restraint, and personal experience positions her uniquely as both a commentator and a potential guide during this tumultuous chapter. Janelle Brown has always been one of the most outspoken and independent of Kody's wives. Unlike Mary, whose approach has often been passive, or Robyn, whose loyalty has been unwavering, Janelle has consistently balanced her commitment to the family with her own sense of self. Over the years, she has emerged as a voice of reason, often offering insight into the practical challenges of plural marriage and the pitfalls of favoritism. Now, with rumors circulating that Kody can no longer support Robyn's children and has allegedly asked her to leave the home, Janelle finds herself in a complicated position. Janelle's independence has been cultivated over decades. She has always maintained a strong sense of identity outside of her marriage, pursuing her own career, friendships, and personal goals. Her approach to plural marriage has been pragmatic. Love and loyalty to Kody are important, but not at the expense of her well-being or that of her children. This independence became more pronounced after her separation from Kody. While she remained part of the Brown family, she began asserting her boundaries more clearly, refusing to be drawn into unnecessary conflict and focusing on her own stability. Janelle has watched Robyn's rise to prominence within the family for years, often feeling frustrated by what she perceives as favoritism. While she has expressed support for Robyn at times, she has also criticized Kody for prioritizing one wife over others, especially when it comes to financial decisions and property matters. From Janelle's perspective, the current situation, Kody allegedly being unable to support Robyn's children, is a predictable outcome of his pattern of favoritism. In many ways, she may view this as a cautionary tale. When loyalty to one individual eclipses fairness and responsibility, disaster is inevitable. Janelle's response is likely framed by the tension between loyalty and responsibility. She has often emphasized that being loyal to Kody does not mean enabling poor decisions or neglecting one's own needs. In her view, Robyn's loyalty, while admirable, may have made her vulnerable to financial instability and emotional strain. Janelle may feel torn. Part of her may sympathize with Robyn, recognizing the unfairness of being asked to leave despite years of dedication. Another part may acknowledge the practical realities. Kody's failure to manage finances responsibly has consequences that cannot be ignored. This duality reflects Janelle's consistent approach to family dynamics. Balance personal ethics with practical wisdom, even when emotions run high. Janelle has not shied away from public commentary over the years, and fans speculate that she may weigh in subtly regarding the current crisis. Social media posts, interviews, and indirect comments provide insight into her likely perspective, a combination of empathy, caution, and critique. Fans have noted that she often uses her platform to advocate for self-sufficiency and personal empowerment. Janelle always teaches us to stand on our own 2 feet, even in family chaos. She understands that loyalty is important, but independence is essential. In this context, Janelle's reaction to Robyn's rumored eviction is likely a nuanced mix of sympathy and practical advice. She may privately encourage Robyn to consider her own long-term security, while publicly maintaining a respectful distance from the drama. For Janelle, the emotional complexity of the situation is significant. She has a history with Kody that informs her judgment, as well as her own children who remain connected to the broader Brown family. She is acutely aware of the ripple effects, the children's emotional well-being, family relationships, and public perception. Janelle's empathy is tempered by realism. She knows that while emotions are important, actions must also be guided by logic. She has likely counseled herself and others over the years that family dynamics are fragile and that financial mismanagement can erode trust and stability. If Janelle were to speak directly to Robyn, her advice would likely be measured and strategic. Assess the reality. Understand the true extent of Kody's financial limitations. Prioritize the children. Make decisions that ensure stability and security for all the kids. Plan for independence. Consider options for housing, finances, and emotional support. Maintain boundaries. Protect personal and family boundaries, even when emotions run high. Communicate strategically. Engage with Kody thoughtfully to avoid escalating conflict. This approach reflects Janelle's consistent philosophy. Loyalty is important, but it cannot come at the cost of personal and familial well-being. Fans often view Janelle as a model of resilience within the Sister Wives universe. Unlike some family members who rely heavily on Kody for emotional or financial support, she has cultivated autonomy and a sense of self that allows her to navigate crises with perspective. Her response to Robyn's situation will likely reflect the same resilience. She may offer support where possible, but she will not compromise her principles or ignore practical realities. Janelle's stance highlights an important lesson for viewers. In complex family structures, individual responsibility and self-sufficiency are essential. While Kody's favoritism may have contributed to the current crisis, Janelle's measured approach demonstrates that even in a plural marriage, one can maintain agency, prioritize children's needs, and navigate conflict with integrity. Her perspective also underscores the recurring theme of the show: love and loyalty are not enough. Practical considerations, financial management, emotional support, and clear boundaries are equally critical to maintaining family stability. In the unfolding drama surrounding Robyn and Kody, Janelle represents a voice of reason and measured observation. Her response, balancing empathy, caution, and pragmatism, reflects her philosophy that loyalty must be tempered with independence. As the Brown family navigates this turbulent chapter, Janelle's approach serves as a reminder that surviving family crises requires more than love. It requires foresight, boundaries, and the courage to prioritize well-being over emotional obligation. Meri Brown has always been the most enigmatic of Kody's wives. Quiet, introspective, and often reserved, she navigates the family dynamics with a level of detachment that has long intrigued fans of sister wives. While the other wives are vocal, confrontational, or emotionally expressive, Meri tends to maintain a calm exterior, often observing rather than participating. Now, as rumors swirl that Kody can no longer support Robyn's children and has allegedly asked her to leave, Meri's silence has become a topic of discussion among viewers and insiders alike. Her quiet approach speaks volumes about her perspective, priorities, and the way she has chosen to handle family drama. Meri's detachment is not a sign of disinterest but a carefully cultivated strategy. Over the years, she has experienced cycles of conflict, alienation, and disappointment within the Brown family. Her marriage with Kody has been marked by distance, emotional neglect, and periods of estrangement. This history has taught her that engaging in drama rarely produces positive outcomes. By remaining neutral, she preserves her own emotional stability and avoids being drawn into the conflicts that frequently engulf the other wives. Fans have often speculated that Meri's detachment is both protective and strategic. She may not intervene in Robyn's current predicament because she has learned that emotional investment in Kody's decisions often leads to disappointment. Meri's silence on the alleged eviction aligns with her established pattern of behavior. While the other wives may comment, speculate, or offer advice, Meri tends to observe and evaluate before responding, if she responds at all. This approach serves several purposes. Preservation of privacy. By staying silent, she avoids unnecessary exposure to public scrutiny. Emotional protection. Silence shields her from the emotional turbulence that comes with conflict. Strategic positioning. Observing the situation allows her to act if necessary, but on her own terms. Her calm, measured approach stands in stark contrast to Christine's subtle commentary, Janelle's pragmatic advice, and Robyn's emotional turmoil. Meri's silence could be motivated by several factors. Emotional self-preservation. After years of being marginalized in Kody's marriage hierarchy, Meri may have little interest in re-engaging with drama that doesn't directly involve her. Avoiding public backlash. Any public comment on Robyn's situation could reignite social media criticism or fan debates about favoritism, financial responsibility, or family loyalty. Strategic observation. Silence allows Meri to assess the fallout and decide whether to intervene, support, or remain detached. Disinterest in Kody's current decisions. Having been sidelined for years, she may feel that Kody's management of Robyn's household is no longer her concern. Fans of Sister Wives have long debated the meaning behind Meri's reserved demeanor. Some interpret her silence as indifference, believing she doesn't care about Robyn or the children. Others view it as wisdom, arguing that staying out of conflict is the most sensible approach given the family's history. Social media reactions capture this divide. Meri's silent because she's smarter than the rest, no need to get involved in chaos. It's frustrating how she doesn't say anything while the others deal with the mess Kody made. Regardless of interpretation, Meri's silence adds a layer of tension to the unfolding story. Her absence from the drama is itself a statement, reflecting her detachment and control over her own narrative. In plural families like the Browns, silence can be a powerful tool. Meri's quiet stance may serve as a subtle form of influence, signaling her disapproval without overt confrontation. It also allows her to maintain moral authority, as she is neither blamed for the situation nor caught up in the immediate fallout. By choosing silence, Meri preserves her dignity and positions herself as a measured observer, someone who has endured past failures of communication and prefers to act only when necessary. Meri's cold silence leaves fans speculating about her next move. Will she step in to offer guidance or support to Robyn, if only privately? Will she remain detached, allowing Kody and Robyn to face the consequences of their choices? Or will she use this opportunity to assert her own influence over family dynamics, subtly shifting the balance of power? The uncertainty surrounding her potential involvement adds suspense to the ongoing narrative. Unlike other wives whose reactions are visible and vocal, Meri's impact may be quiet yet profound. Meri Brown's cold silence is not apathy. It is a calculated response to years of family upheaval, public scrutiny, and emotional neglect. In the context of Kody's alleged inability to support Robyn's children, her detachment highlights a recurring theme in the Brown family saga. Sometimes, the most powerful statements are made without words. Her quiet observation offers a counterpoint to the emotional turbulence surrounding Robyn, Christine, and Janelle, reminding viewers that resilience and strategy often manifest in stillness rather than confrontation. In today's age of instant communication and 24/7 connectivity, any news involving reality TV stars quickly spreads across social media. When rumors surfaced that Kody Brown can no longer support Robyn's children and may have asked her to leave the home, fans erupted across platforms, dissecting the implications, sharing opinions, and debating loyalty, responsibility, and fairness. Twitter became a hub of instant reactions. Fans shared everything from humorous memes to heartfelt commentary, highlighting the mixture of outrage, sympathy, and schadenfreude that such news generates. Some tweets expressed anger toward Kody. How can he call himself a father if he can't support his own kids? #SisterWives. Robyn deserves better. Kody has been failing for years. Others expressed sympathy for Robyn and her children. The kids didn't choose this. They're the innocent victims here. Stay strong, Robyn. Robyn has always been loyal. She shouldn't be punished for Kody's mismanagement. Meanwhile, some fans were delighting in the drama, a hallmark of reality TV viewership. I never thought I'd say this, but Kody finally got his wake-up call. This is why favoritism always backfires. I told y'all. Reddit threads provided a space for fans to analyze every detail, from financial history to past conflicts between the wives. Unlike the brief, punchy reactions on Twitter, Reddit users offered detailed breakdowns, often citing past episodes, public statements, and financial disclosures. Popular topics included Kody's financial mismanagement. Fans dissected the Coyote Pass saga, the Las Vegas move, and escalating debts. Robyn's perceived lifestyle choices, debates over whether her spending habits contributed to the crisis. Impact on the children. In-depth discussion about emotional trauma, disrupted schooling, and sibling dynamics. Ex-wives' reactions. Predictions about how Christine, Janelle, and Meri will respond or benefit from the situation. One Reddit comment summarized the sentiment. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash. You can't look away, and yet you know someone is going to get hurt. Robyn's children are going to be the ones paying the price. Instagram is the platform where fan reactions often combine humor, emotion, and creativity. Memes, illustrated timelines, and reaction videos flooded feeds within hours of the rumor spreading. Influencers and reality TV commentators weighed in, often taking Robyn's side while criticizing Kody's financial decisions. Stories and reels highlighted moments from past seasons, emphasizing Kody's repeated failures to balance the family budget or manage the household fairly. Comment sections exploded with debate, often pitting longtime fans against casual viewers. TikTok's short-form video format allowed fans and creators to dramatize the news quickly. Popular trends included reenactments of Kody telling Robyn she has to leave, often exaggerated for comedic or dramatic effect. Countdowns of Robyn's spending habits versus Kody's income, highlighting the financial gap. Speculative narratives about the future, predictions about the children, ex-wives, or TLC involvement. TikTok allowed younger viewers, often less invested in the historical context of Sister Wives, to engage with the drama in an accessible and shareable way. This helped the news go viral, reaching a broader audience beyond the show's core fan base. Facebook groups dedicated to Sister Wives offered a space for both emotional support and heated debate. Members shared personal opinions, dissected past episodes, and expressed concern for Robyn's children. Some groups focused on emotional support. Let's hope Robyn and the kids are okay. This situation is tough for everyone involved. I can't imagine being in her shoes, managing children, loyalty, and financial uncertainty at the same time. Other groups leaned into debate and speculation. Kody finally sees that favoritism has consequences. But why should Robyn suffer for it? I think Robyn could have managed the finances better. Not everything is on Kody. These discussions demonstrate how deeply fans analyze the Browns' personal lives, often blending empathy, critique, and entertainment. Memes and pop culture reactions. No reality TV controversy is complete without memes. Fans quickly turned Kody's alleged inability to support Robyn into humorous commentary, often exaggerating his indecision, financial mistakes, or pattern of favoritism. Popular meme themes included Kody running out of money versus Robyn's lavish lifestyle. The children as innocent bystanders in a financial war. Ex-wives acting as silent or sarcastic observers. While humorous, these memes underscore a key reality. The public perceives the situation as both serious and entertaining, blending sympathy with schadenfreude. Speculation about TLC and show drama. Fans also debated how TLC might handle the situation. Some suggested the network could exploit the tension for ratings, possibly documenting eviction discussions, financial struggles, and the children's emotional responses. Speculation included a special episode focused on Robyn and Kody's financial crisis. Interviews with ex-wives offering commentary. Behind-the-scenes look at the family's finances and decision-making. Fans consistently noted that the network thrives on drama, which increases both tension and public scrutiny for the family. The larger narrative. Across platforms, fan reactions illustrate the broader narrative at play. Kody's repeated mismanagement is finally catching up to him. Robyn's loyalty is being tested under extreme circumstances. The children are innocent victims of adult mistakes. The ex-wives' responses add intrigue and complexity. This social media engagement demonstrates how reality TV blurs the line between entertainment and real-life consequence, creating a dynamic ecosystem of discussion, critique, and emotional investment. Social media reactions serve as a mirror, reflecting fan outrage, empathy, humor, and curiosity. Kody's alleged failure to support Robyn's children has ignited discussion across platforms, illustrating the intersection of personal crisis and public entertainment. For the Browns, this means that every decision, every financial move, and every emotional reaction is under scrutiny. The fans' collective voice amplifies the stakes, influencing perception, narrative, and, potentially, even the family's next actions. The reported news that Kody Brown can no longer support Robyn's children and has allegedly asked her to leave the house is not just a family drama, it has serious legal and financial implications. With decades of shared assets, complex custody arrangements, and public scrutiny, this development could trigger a series of consequences for the entire Brown family. Property ownership and division. One of the most immediate concerns involves property. Over the years, the Browns have invested in multiple homes and properties, including the famed Coyote Pass Ranch. Robyn's living situation is tied to Kody both legally and financially, raising questions about ownership and responsibility. Key legal questions include: who legally owns the house Robyn and her children live in? If the property is jointly owned, eviction is complicated. If it is Kody's sole property, Robyn may have limited legal recourse without a formal agreement. Are there prenuptial agreements or contracts governing property division? These could determine whether Robyn is entitled to continued residence, financial support, or a share of household assets. Impact on children's living arrangements. Courts typically prioritize children's stability, which may influence legal outcomes regarding housing and financial support. These factors illustrate how intertwined financial and legal considerations are with personal dynamics in plural families. Financial responsibility. Kody's alleged inability to support Robyn's children points to deeper financial challenges. Over the years, the Browns have faced escalating costs. Multiple households, children's needs, legal fees, and public scrutiny all contribute to financial strain. Possible financial fallout includes child support disputes. Legal obligations to provide for the children may force Kody to adjust budgets or liquidate assets. Division of assets. Any shared property, savings, or investments may become points of contention. Debt management. Previous loans, mortgages, or property investments could complicate financial settlements. Legal experts might argue that Kody's prioritization of one household, Robyn's, over others could influence court decisions, particularly if it affects the children's well-being. Custody considerations. Robyn's children are at the center of potential legal battles. While Kody is a father figure, his financial inability to support the household could impact custody arrangements. Legal considerations include primary custody. Robyn may retain primary custody, with Kody responsible for financial support. Temporary arrangements. Courts could mandate short-term solutions to ensure children's stability while financial matters are resolved. Child support adjustments. Kody's income, assets, and expenses will factor into support calculations, potentially leading to formal legal proceedings. Family lawyers note that courts tend to favor children's stability over parental convenience, which may protect Robyn and her children in the short term. Potential for mediation. Given the high-profile nature of the Browns, mediation may be preferred over public court battles. Mediation allows the family to negotiate. Housing arrangements. Financial support levels. Custody and visitation schedules. Mediation could reduce legal costs and maintain some privacy, though it requires cooperation from all parties, particularly Kody. If mediation fails, public litigation could expose the family to intense scrutiny. Given their history of reality TV exposure, every legal filing, hearing, or dispute could be televised, leaked, or analyzed online. Consequences of public litigation include increased fan criticism and social media backlash, potential damage to the sister wives brand, emotional strain on children, who may be forced to participate in or witness legal proceedings, financial costs of prolonged legal battles. This underscores the delicate balance between private family matters and public exposure in reality TV families. Financial planning and crisis management. Experts suggest that Robyn may need to engage in strategic financial planning, including budgeting for household expenses independent of Kody, exploring rental or alternative housing options, securing legal counsel to protect her children's interests, assessing long-term financial stability, including college funds and healthcare. These steps may provide a buffer against immediate crises and ensure her children's security, even if Kody cannot provide full support. TLC's role and potential influence. TLC, as the network behind Sister Wives, may play a subtle but significant role. While they cannot legally intervene, their involvement in filming, interviews, and promotional material can increase public pressure on Kody to provide support. Influence family dynamics through selective storytelling. Potentially offer financial resources or guidance, though this is speculative. Fans often speculate that the network subtly encourages drama to boost ratings, which may complicate legal and financial matters further. Lessons from previous Brown family disputes. Past disputes within the Brown family provide a roadmap for what might unfold. Property disagreements. Previous conflicts over land and homes often required legal intervention. Financial mismanagement. Kody's history of prioritizing one household has created friction and lawsuits. Child-focused negotiations. Courts have consistently prioritized children's stability over adult preferences. This context suggests that Robyn, if strategic, could navigate this crisis while protecting her children and securing legal and financial stability. The alleged scenario of Kody asking Robyn to leave is more than a family feud, it's a potential legal and financial storm. Property rights, child custody, and financial responsibility intersect in a high-stakes environment that demands careful planning and strategic action. For Robyn, the key will be balancing emotional well-being with practical legal considerations. For Kody, the situation underscores the consequences of favoritism, financial mismanagement, and the challenges inherent in plural marriage. The unfolding legal and financial fallout will shape the Brown family narrative for years to come, influencing relationships, public perception, and the broader sister-wives storyline. For decades, Kody Brown has been the central figure in the sister-wives saga, managing multiple households, children, and relationships under the scrutiny of both cameras and fans. Now, with rumors circulating that he can no longer support Robyn's children and has allegedly asked her to leave the home, Kody faces a personal and emotional reckoning that extends beyond financial strain. The burden of responsibility. Kody has long positioned himself as the patriarch of the family, responsible not just for the practical needs of his wives and children, but for maintaining harmony, fairness, and a sense of unity. This role carries immense pressure, compounded by the complexity of plural marriage. The alleged inability to support Robyn's children represents a major failure in his own eyes. The consequences are immediate: guilt over destabilizing the household, anxiety about public perception, fear of disappointing both Robyn and his ex-wives, internal conflict over favoritism and fairness. Fans familiar with the show understand that Kody's self-image is deeply tied to his ability to provide and lead. This situation challenges both patterns of emotional stress. Kody's emotional struggles are not new. Over the years, viewers have witnessed his patterns of stress manifesting as emotional withdrawal, defensive behavior in public and on camera, attempts to maintain control amid chaos, over-reliance on certain wives for support. This crisis magnifies those patterns. Facing financial shortfalls and relational tension, Kody may experience heightened anxiety, difficulty making decisions, and strained communication with Robyn and the children. Navigating public scrutiny. As a public figure, Kody's emotional response is amplified. Every decision is scrutinized by fans, critics, and media outlets, adding layers of pressure that most parents never face. Social media reactions, memes, and commentary create a near-constant reminder of perceived failures, potentially intensifying his stress and guilt. The emotional toll of public scrutiny includes difficulty expressing vulnerability, increased defensiveness or projection, fear of long-term reputational damage, heightened sensitivity to criticism from ex-wives and fans alike. These pressures intersect with family dynamics, making Kody's emotional state more precarious. Regret and reflection. Kody may also experience significant regret. Decisions made in the past, prioritizing certain households, approving certain expenditures, or trusting particular family members with financial responsibilities, may now feel like mistakes. Reflection may involve acknowledging favoritism toward Robyn, recognizing the cumulative impact of financial mismanagement, considering how his leadership style contributed to instability, contemplating missed opportunities to provide equitable support. For a man whose identity is tied to family leadership, these regrets carry weight, potentially influencing his decision-making moving forward. Strain on marital and family relationships. The alleged eviction scenario places immense strain on Kody's relationship with Robyn. Robyn's loyalty and trust are tested, while Kody's ability to provide and protect is questioned. Complicating matters further, relationships with his ex-wives may be affected. Christine may experience vindication, potentially leading to tension or judgment. Janelle may offer pragmatic advice, implicitly challenging his decisions. Mary's silence may feel like disapproval or detachment. Navigating these emotional currents requires Kody to balance sensitivity, authority, and practicality, a nearly impossible task in such a high-pressure environment. Coping mechanisms and strategies. Kody's emotional coping strategies may include withdrawal, retreating emotionally to avoid confrontation or judgment. Rationalization, justifying decisions based on previous experiences or intentions. Seeking advice, consulting close allies or select wives for guidance. Delegation, allowing Robyn to manage certain household or financial responsibilities. While these strategies may offer temporary relief, they may not fully address the underlying stress or relational consequences. The risk of emotional burnout. Sustained stress and guilt can lead to emotional burnout, affecting Kody's decision-making, relationships, and overall well-being. Signs of burnout may include irritability or impatience, difficulty concentrating on family needs, emotional detachment from children or wives, increased conflict or impulsive decisions. Burnout could exacerbate existing family tensions, potentially accelerating the crisis and increasing the risk of long-term emotional damage for all involved. Despite the challenges, Kody has opportunities to navigate this crisis constructively. Open communication, honest discussions with Robyn and the children about financial and emotional realities. Financial transparency, clear documentation of income, expenses, and obligations to rebuild trust. Family mediation, engaging neutral advisors or counselors to manage conflict. Personal reflection, addressing patterns of favoritism, decision-making, and emotional management. These steps could help Kody regain credibility, protect the children's well-being, and rebuild trust with Robyn and the other wives. Kody Brown's alleged failure to support Robyn's children highlights the immense emotional burden of leading a plural family. Financial strain, relational tension, and public scrutiny converge, testing his resilience, judgment, and emotional fortitude. For Kody, this crisis is both a personal reckoning and a public spectacle. How he navigates the fallout, balancing guilt, responsibility, and strategic action, will determine the future of his family relationships and the broader narrative of sister wives.